My name is Claudette McGlynn, and I am Executive Director of the Center for the Study of Multicultural Literature. I'm a member of the Pre-Conference Planning Committee, and I will be your panel moderator. We have assembled an outstanding panel of experts, 6 to be exact, to discuss the topic of literacy programming, forming partnership, and sharing resources, which is essential and timely. Dr. Alire mentioned in her talk, in terms of opportunities, she said we need to step up in developing library multicultural literacy programs and collecting more multicultural materials. So this is relevant, this is timely, and I'm going to have each person introduce themselves first.
I'm Pat Mora.
I'm Maureen Costello, Director of Teaching Tolerance.
I'm Deborah Ford. I'm the Director of Library Outreach at Junior Library Guild.
Irania Patterson, Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, also a writer.
I'm Amy Kuster. I'm the Youth and Family Program Coordinator at Skokie Public Library.
Hi, I'm Michelle Leo. I'm the Head of Education and Library Marketing for Simon & Schuster.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been 17 years working for the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and I am one of those people who take the books and transform the books. I am in jails, I am in senior centers, I am in hospital working with patients with terminal illness, I am in daycares, I am all over. I am about not only exposure, I am about taking the book, breaking it down, bringing music, bringing art, bringing everything possible to make the connection, being with theater, being with art, being with anything. So I am going to start telling you something that I remember I heard once by Carmen Derden, who was the director of the Banco del Libro, the book bank, and she said, we shouldn't be worrying too much about writing or creating multicultural books. She said, we should be really worrying about fostering and building multicultural readers. So the question is, how do we really foster multicultural readers? And the only way that I've seen happening is through making connections. And doing the connections, I have learned that making those connections, I have done it in my experience in opening spaces for multilingual, artistic, and literary strategies. I see more and more us as librarians and teachers trying to do multicultural programs, but we are isolating the populations. We are not really doing exchange. We're not doing intercultural programs or intercultural communication. I wonder why Hispanic Heritage Month is only for Hispanics. When I do DIA, it shouldn't be only for Latino children. If African American Heritage Month in the library, shouldn't be all African American people. Why why we're not really mixing all of these initiatives? And I think that we should really be working more and more in trying to create those exchanges. And that's real, what we call inclusion. And in the inclusion is just really everybody learning from each other, doing real exchange. A picture over there, this woman is from Colombia, and she's a Muslim woman, and she's reading in her, she was reading in Arabic, Cinderella in the Asian Library in Charlotte Mecklenburg. So imagine this is all Asian population. She's from Colombia and she's also Arabic, and she's reading the Cinderella version of her own culture. I think that is when there is a connection, because everybody is learning. One picture here is in India, and this is an Indian girl. She's 12 years old, and she's teaching these children how to talk in the dance Indian language. And this boy is from Philippines, and she is from Brazil. And if you see their eyes, there is a connection there. And that connection is what I consider is a great story of impact. And so it's not only bringing the books to the children, exposing the books to the children. For us is how do we make these books alive and really making them appeal to the child. And that I am going to share with you some examples of programs where the connections have been made by opening the spaces on literacy, multicultural, multilingualism, and art. Before that, I'm sorry, I went back. I am going to share 3 examples, if I have time, because I know I've been sending like 3 different versions of my PowerPoint. There were like 300 slides, then no. Then like you said, workshop 1, let me do 100, no. Oh my goodness, so then I got 15. So I hope I can have at least 1 finished. But these examples, I'm going to talk about partnerships. And these are the organizations that I'm going to share with you that we have been doing programs with Charlotte Mecklenburg School, with the University of North Carolina, the Museum, Preschool, Shamrock Senior Center, and the Latin American Coalition. Briefly, I am going to tell you my experience in doing partnerships in the community. One thing that I want you to ask yourself is when you're doing a partnership, what is your role in the partnership? Are you a facilitator? Are you the marketing? Are you the liaison? Many of the partnerships that we do fail because there is not accountability. There is not really clear in the partnership what's doing what. You have to be accountable and clearly with a memorandum of agreement who is doing what. That is very, very important. Sometimes we do partnerships and then people doesn't show up because they're expecting the library to bring the people, but that wasn't our role. So we need to be clear, are you doing the outreach? Who is bringing the community? Many of our partnerships are unfair partnerships, especially for libraries. We do 100% and the other institution does 0. So when we create a partnership, make sure that the other institution is really giving its part. It's 2 ways partnership. So I am going to share with you one partnership that we did as I said before, there is a connection between art, literacy, and multilingualism. 2 years ago, we took the book Mama Goose from Alma Florada. How many of you are familiar with Mama Goose? Latin American nursery rhymes, and these are authentic nursery rhymes written in Spanish, translated in English. So a professor of theater in the University of North Carolina approached me and she said, why don't we write a bilingual play? And we explored many, many books, but we thought this book was appealing because there was not a story, so we can create a story. So we came with 4 characters: Nortico, who spoke English and Spanish; Estelita, who spoke sign language; Zurita, who spoke English, and Zurita spoke Spanish, and Western spoke English. So the beautiful thing about this play is that the children did the whole story speaking their own language, and they never switch. So what we wanted to prove is that communication is beyond words. Communications is not, you don't have to worry about the translation. It's the art itself of communication. It's what makes the connection. So with Mama Goose, we become Mama Goose as a professional development training. So if you want to see Mama Goose, oh my goodness, 1 minute. If you want to see Mama Goose, you have to take the training of the program. What we did is we took teachers. This is the workshop. So we took teachers, we took teaching artists, and we took librarians together, and we worked together on understanding what are the aspects of literary art and multilingualism in a book, and how can you adapt this book or different books to your classrooms. So in the workshop, we talk about all these different truths, and one of the things that I think librarians and teachers are afraid in general to work with multicultural resources is because they think that the point is to read, the point is to write, and one of the things that we emphasize in this training is that literacy is beyond and is about meaningful communication. These are the reflections that we did after the training. It was really a wonderful training, and we are still working with teachers, artists, teaching artists, and librarians in school systems and the library. And what we wanted to see is the interaction and the exchange in all of this expertise. We need a lot of these different opportunities where teachers, teaching artists, and librarians are in the same place exchanging their knowledge. As I said, I won't have time to do over my presentation, but let me finish right here, okay? Just you know, as my closing thought and as experience, when we perform and when we do programs for children, again, we really need to think about, are we really doing inclusion, and what is inclusion for you? Thank you.